Who am I? Where am I? Boosting grades for those flunking brats. A sharp pain in my chest. Could it be? I've transmigrated.
Xingxia, you dare snatch mine. 7 colored blazed marbles. It took 300 years to collect them all.
Nonsense. I saw it first in the mud puddle. Finders keepers. You shameless old redhead.
Across the 9 heavens and 10 earths, I alone am supreme. Blazing hard incineration. World-ending splits.
Watch this. Eternal frost. Ice soul divine light. The great spitting technique.
So this is cultivation? I spent half my life teaching classical literature, and you're telling me this is the peak combat power of this world?
This black divine beast. So mighty. It can actually carry something. 3 times its size, a cookie crumb? This must be an ancient, heaven-swallowing sacred beast cub.
Just a common black ant. Those are just crumbs from my rations.
You actually recognize such a divine beast? You must be the legendary, all-knowing, big brain.
Myriad Matters exemplar system activated. Corrected Sue Linger's species cognition. Reward, Foundation Establishment Stage Cultivation Level.
Alright, fine. Can't go back anyway. Self-preservation comes first. Watch closely, little girl. This creature is called an ant. 6 legs, divided into head, thorax, and abdomen. Moving debris is a biological instinct.
Oh my. So it's not a divine beast. I understand, Master. I understand. I feel my intelligence is skyrocketing.
Enlightenment successful. Student Sue Linger has learned to identify ants. Host cultivation feedback. Foundation Establishment Stage, 3rd level.
So that's it. These blockheads' cultivation levels are exchanged for their intelligence. Humph. In that case, I, Xinyao, shall establish in this immortal realm an unprecedented literacy class.
Ugh. Saintess Linger said, there's a master here who can make people smart. What's smart? Can you eat it?
Humph. I've cultivated for 800 years, and I've long understood the creation of heaven and earth.
Xinyao, you're a professor. You have professional ethics. These are your bread and butter. This is your experience. Come in, all of you. Today's first lesson. We won't talk about cultivation techniques, only arithmetic. I ask you all, if you have 1 spirit stone in your left hand and 1 spirit stone in your right hand, how many do you have in total?
That long thing.
Master, could this be the legendary yin-yang unification technique? If 2 spirit stones collide, won't it cause a void collapse?
Oh, it just became more. Look at my fingers.
It's actually 2. I've been stuck at the nascent soul stage for 300 years, never understanding what comes after 1. It's 2. Master is truly a divine being.
Enlightenment successful. 3 cultivators have mastered basic counting. Host cultivation feedback. Foundation establishment stage, 9th level.
Don't make such a fuss. The beauty of mathematics lies in logic. Next class, we'll discuss what 2 + 1 equals.
Master is too profound.
Slowly, let us digest this 2.
Who are you, demon? How dare you spread evil here? Linger, as a saintess, how can you mess around with this cultivation less mortal? What 2? What ant? This is simply undermining the foundation of our immortal realm.
Uncle Huiyun, you're too dumb. What Master teaches is far more powerful than your fire-spitting crappy sword.
Oh, you little brat. You're infuriating this old man. Die, you junior. World burning, earth destroying. Great fireball.
To create fire, you need oxygen, fuel, and to reach the ignition point, your fireball is just piled up with spiritual chi. It's all show and no substance. It's all show and no substance.
Why am I kneeling? Why did my fireball go out?
Huyin, I ask you. Water can extinguish fire. Do you know why? Do you know why?
Because water is more fierce?
Because water can isolate oxygen and cool it down. You possess immense magical power, yet you don't even know the principle of making fire.
I understand. So fire isn't something I conjure. It's something that transforms. Master, please accept my bow.
Educated as Spirit Transformation Stage Cultivator in basic physics. Host's cultivation level is rapidly increasing. Promoted to Golden Core Stage, first level.
The sky of this immortal realm seems to have been shrouded in mist for too long. From today onwards, Mischievous Child Ridge shall be renamed the Sacred Land of Knowledge Seeking. Look, everyone. Someone's committing violence in the street. As the sages say, a great city is governed by etiquette. Though the spiritual chi here is abundant, it's like a pot of messy porridge. Linger, why is entering the city so slow?
Master, I know. Because that fat guy riding a crane wants to squeeze through. And that skinny guy pulling a cart also wants to squeeze through. They're stuck together. Now they're sticking their tongues out at each other.
Sigh. Without learning etiquette, one cannot stand firm. It seems the city lord of Qingfeng City also needs to pay tuition.
You can't count, so it's my fault, is it?
You two slackers. Silence. Those entering the city must follow the rules. Enter on the left, exit on the right. Do not cross the line. This is what we call traffic rules.
What does that even mean? Traffic?
It means drawing a line on the ground. Those on the left side of the line go in. Those on the right side of the line go out.
Just follow this line, and you won't get kicked in the butt by the cranes anymore.
Master is truly a genius. This person, he can draw a line that makes everyone obedient. This must be a long lost. Guiding formation. Quick, go invite this formation master to my residence for a chat.
Master, my cultivation level has stagnated recently. I always feel myself swaying back and forth on this horse, unable to enter meditation. Why does this horse always try to throw me off?
It must be that the horse is hungry. Your subordinate will. Go feed this wooden horse some spirit pills.
The horse must be homesick. We need to put it back in the forest.
These people, how did they even reach the nascent soul stage? Does spiritual chi really corrode the cerebral cortex? This is not the horse's fault. It's a matter of the center of gravity.
Oh? What kind of advanced technique is that?
Every object has its weight, and every point has its center. You're sitting too far back. The lever arm is too long. Naturally, it's unstable. Linga, get out your middle school physics notes. Oh no, get out that blueprint. Torque balance. If you, City Lord, can evenly distribute your spiritual energy among 3 support points, forming a triangle, you'll be as steady as a mountain.
I understand. This isn't the horse. It's the support of heaven and earth. I've comprehended the 3 points stabilize the universe. Old man Xingmu, hand over that evil cultivator who made people smart. Mi brother, Tianyu. Ever since he attended his lecture, now just counts rocks at home all day. He doesn't even know how to fight anymore.
Interesting. It seems the immortal realms, higher education, has to start with a bit of forced demolition.
Xinyao, you scoundrel. Give me back my innocent brother. He used to only know how to rob. Now he's actually learned to queue for medicine. And he's talking about being a model citizen. You're ruining his future.
Tai Long, your brother is now enlightened and reasonable.
Ha 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 ha. A contest? One swing of my staff, and I'll flatten you into a pancake.
No, We'll have a mental math contest.
How do we do that?
I'll give you a problem. If you can answer it within 3 breaths, I'll surrender immediately. But if you answer incorrectly, you and your brothers must join my lecture hall as transfer students for 3 years.
Bring it on. There's no number that I, Tai Long, can't calculate.
You have 10 spirit fruits. You give them to 3 fellow cultivators. Each person gets 2. How many do you have left?
Three fellow cultivators. 2. That makes 32.
No, it's 500.
It's 5. No, it's 6. Oh, my head's going to explode. My head's going to explode.
Ten minus 3 multiplied by 2 equals 4.
Master, is this the profound mystery of arithmetic? I want to learn that. 10 minus 3.
Since that's the case, today we shall hold the lecture hall expansion ceremony. Linga, hand out the flyers.
Haha.
Tai Long, you are a nascent soul cultivator. Seeing this delicate flower, do you only know how to say so red?
This flower, it's as red as the dog's blood I just coughed up.
Master said to use metaphors. This flower is as red as Master's face when he's angry.
Listen closely, it should be peach blossoms, still dewy from last night's rain. Willows green, veiled in morning mist.
My name is Duan Lang. I heard there's a master here who claims to understand all principles. My sword doesn't slay nameless ghosts. Today, I specifically came to ask, what is sword intent?
Since you seek to understand sword intent, then Xin Yao asks you, what is the name of the sword in your hand?
This sword is forged from 10,000-year-old cold iron. Its name is that very hard, very cold sword.
You can't even name or describe your beloved possession. Ha 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 ha. A sword is its edge. Your sword. Silver light flashes, cold stars fall. Bitter frost breaks the dawn.
I only knew it as ice butt before. Master, please bestow a full name upon it.
From now on, your sword shall be named Ling Lai.
Xin Yao, inciting cultivators to think, this is the source of chaos. I, on behalf of the High Priest, am shutting down the Learn Fast lecture hall and forcibly administering to all of you Oblivion Powder. Who dares touch Master? I just learned to count to 200. Whoever makes me forget, I'll fight them to the death.
Since you all believe thinking is wrong, then let me ask you, this command flag in your hand, where did it come from?
Naturally, it was bestowed by the High Priest.
And why did the High Priest bestow it upon you?
Because I am loyal.
If the word loyalty isn't born from thought, how can it exist? If you're just a block of wood, how can you speak of loyalty? If you thought about how to be loyal, then haven't you already violated your own ban on thinking?
I thought, I dare not think. But if I don't think, how do I know I dare not think? No, that's not right.
Your very existence is a paradox. Your cultivation is empty talk.
Xin Yao, your talent and knowledge have touched upon the primal immortal laws. Come with me to the judgment altar.
Watch the lecture hall carefully. I'll be back to collect your homework.
Master.
Xin Yao, 4 eons in the immortal realm. Only the simple-minded could bear spiritual chi. Your enlightenment is playing with fire. Today, before the projections of all cultivators in the immortal realm, if you can write the answers on this test paper, I will acknowledge you as the master of all ages. This question is a challenge from the heavenly Tao. For tens of thousands of years, countless brilliant talents have tried to answer it, but all died due to logical errors and incomprehensible ramblings.
That's it. This is the heavenly Tao's question you all fear so much.
What did you write? This is impossible.
I am the first lamp in this eternal night. We steal spiritual energy. Today, Shun will use this person's character to bring a glimmer of clarity to this immortal realm.
Person. These 2 lines. It's actually person. Why, after just one glance, do I feel that those absurd, ignorant days of the past were so shameful? I was actually playing with such things. I'm so ashamed.
The host writes the character for a person, defining the dignity of species in the immortal realm, enlightening the entire immortal realm to be reborn. Congratulations, host. Current cultivation level, Tribulation Transcendence Stage Peak.
High Priest, did I, Shun, answer this question perfectly?
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Master is truly the first holy master of all ages.
This world.
Master said, after gaining wisdom, the first order of business is to wash your faces. Look at all that snot hanging from your noses. What an unsightly mess.
Welcome back, Holy Master.
Enlightenment is indeed a joyous thing, but the wise often bear many worries. From today onwards, the lecture hall will add 3 new subjects: morality, aptitude, and technique. Anyone caught fighting will be punished by copying the Great Learning 1,000 times.
Then, what if we fight over territory?
Then we shall hold an academic debate. Whoever can clearly explain the ownership of the land shall claim it.
Master, what if no one can explain it clearly?
Then it shall be nationalized and used as a public playground.
Shenyao, you've broken the rules. This immortal realm is just a giant kindergarten. Isn't it better for everyone to be happy simpletons? Why must you make them realize what suffering is? What greed is?
Without a clear soul, eternal life is but an empty shell. Who are you?
I am the gardener of this realm. Since you insist on enlightening them, then at next month's Immortal Realm Gala, I hope your students don't lose to my obedient children.
When I left in the past, willows swayed gently. Now that I return,
Tai Long, you need to use a breathy voice. Express that reluctant parting emotion. Are you screaming for help?
Oh, Master, this parting emotion is too difficult. Before, if I saw someone I didn't like leaving, I just smashed them back with a mace. I've never felt reluctance.
Master, this gold-devouring beast has the intelligence of a 6-month-old. It only eats and sleeps. How do we teach it?
Everything has its nature. It likes gold. So we teach it equivalent exchange. Eat a piece of gold, then you must learn to draw a circle. If it's not a perfect circle, you're not allowed to eat. Draw. Hide and seek. Then let's see who gets picked out first. The charm of sound lies in harmony. You all possess immense power, yet the music you play sounds like an old donkey grinding grain. Tai Long, stop banging that bell. My eardrums are about to burst.
Master, doesn't it sound more imposing when it's loud?
Sigh. Listen up. This is the 7-tone scale. Gong, shang, jiao, jiu, bian gong, bian ji. There's a fixed relationship between each note.
Educating all beings to understand music theory. Host cultivation feedback. Comprehension of Sage's law. 1%.
Before, we only knew how to shout the loudest. Turns out, there are such beautiful sounds in this world.
Bad kids. Grandpa Gardner said that if you learn these sappy things, you'll become mute. We're gonna smash all your instruments.
Humph. Since you lack manners, then allow me, Shun, to discipline you.
Master, this mist is so strange. My head feels a bit dizzy. I want to play in the mud.
Cast aside distracting thoughts. Recite Ode to the Lotus. It emerges from the mud unstained, washed by clear ripples, yet without coquetry.
I'm not listening. You stinky master. Watch this.
Great strength without restraint, action without purpose. This is a brute. Today I, Shun, shall teach you all about propriety, righteousness, integrity, and shame.
Stop fighting. I won't relieve myself anywhere anymore.
Educated hostile villains in basic etiquette. Cultivation feedback. Obtained Holy Master's golden body. Prototype.
Master Shin truly has remarkable methods. He can even teach my naughty grandson well. Tomorrow, at the Immortal Realm Gala, I, this old man, will be waiting for good news. At Myriad Infants Valley. Then, we'll see whose students are more loving. Master Shen, this first competition is called Sharing Love. Here's a pile of spirit fruits. Whoever can make everyone in the audience happy wins. Look, how happily they're smiling. This is what you call love. A debate of truth and falsehood.
Forced smiles are not true joy. Tai Long, Linger, class is in session.
As you command.
Yes. Master.
True happiness is when the elderly are cared for, the strong are put to use, and the young are nurtured.
Thank you, Holy Master. We were literally barking like dogs just now. I'm so ashamed of myself.
No. It shouldn't be like this. They must return to chaos. Only then will that terrifying taboo awaken.
Gardener, that thing you mentioned, what exactly is it?
Shen Yao, you may have won this round, but you've lost the whole game.
From this day forward, there will be no more Myriad Infants Valley in this world. Only the Seeker's Academy remains. Now that you have awakened your minds, you are no longer playthings for others.
Holy Master, these cultivators only know how to fight and loot treasures. Look at that mountain-shaking divine ape over there, making them study now. I doubt they'll be able to sit still.
Linger, pass on my decree. Whoever can fully recite the 1,000-character classic will be rewarded with an enlightenment pill. Anyone who dares to damage public property will be punished by carrying water from the back mountain. You possess immense strength, yet you know not its origin. Your fist is a tangled mess. Your heart is as restless as thunder. Watch closely. This is using an opponent's strength against them. The circular flow of Tai Chi, 4 ounces to deflect 1,000 pounds. Where force is directed, go with the flow.
System prompt. Educated a powerful being of the clan in the fundamentals of mechanics. Cultivation level feedback. Sage Realm, 2nd layer. Acquired trait, Midas Touch.
Master, although everyone is getting smarter, I've noticed that the spiritual chi between heaven and earth seems to be diminishing.
The gardener was right before he died. The heavenly Tao is hungry. It treats this world as a pasture. Originally, it only wanted to devour the dimwits. Now that we've become smart, it wants to swallow the whole plate.
Master, something's wrong with the sky. Not only is there no rain, even the clouds have been eaten by the heavenly Tao. No one has spirit pills anymore.
If heaven takes away our sustenance, I will teach all beings to seize heaven's power. Rain is not a divine gift, but the condensation of water vapor. Since heaven won't gather clouds, we will create our own rainbows. Tai Long, lead the fire attribute cultivators to burn the residual liquid in the spirit sea, turning it into vapor to rise. High Priest, lead the ice attribute cultivators Once the mist rises, apply frost.
Isn't this just messing around?
This is the principle of the water cycle. Do as I say. Good rain knows its season and falls in spring. It steals into the night with the wind and moistens all things silently.
Shen Yao, you've given brains to the food. This makes it hard for the heavenly Tao to digest. As punishment, you must pass the 4 arts trial.
The 4 arts. Qin Qi Shu Hua.
No. It's slaughter, destruction, madness, devour.
Your slaughter is without order. Let me paint a picture for you. You were born from chaos. You have never truly known the people. Today, I will teach you. You wish to devour. Then let's see if you can stomach millennia of civilization.
Shen Yao, you broke my toy. Will you be my new pacifier?
See no impropriety. Hear no impropriety. Do no impropriety. As the source of all life, you constantly reach out to take. Taking without asking is theft.
The little one speaks. How amusing. You'll be my clapper.
Shen Yao feels a powerful field of ignorance invading his mind, attempting to reduce his thoughts to that of an infant.
All things are inherently diverse. Such is the nature of reality. You use ignorance to corrupt true wisdom. This defies the natural rule. Heaven's decree is nature. Following nature is the way. Cultivating the way is education.
Master, that child is too massive. We can't teach him. Come back.
There is no one who cannot be taught. Only teachers who lack dedication.
To reach such a cultivation level, could this batch of intellect-reducing powder be expired?
I am Shen Yao, currently the dean of the next Learn Fast lecture hall. Since you are this child's guardian, and you indulge him in devouring all beings, don't you think that lacks compassion?
Haha, would you show compassion to the delicacies on your plate? This child is the imperial son of the Firmament Imperial clan. Your so-called immortal realm is merely a biscuit for him to grind his teeth on.
Biscuits, too, come in crude and refined forms. You are raising him into a beast that only knows how to devour. When he comes of age, how will he bear the might of the imperial clan? If he grows up in ignorance, for his entire life, he will be nothing more than a giant fool.
What are you trying to say?
I shouldn't have a plan. It can teach this child propriety and integrity. If he can learn the principles of how all things operate, when he ascends to the imperial throne, he will surely become an enlightened ruler. As a female official, your poor guidance has led him to mediocrity. Are you not afraid of the imperial clan's wrath? I shun invite you to witness the power of education.
System notification. Host attempts to educate a higher species. Teaching difficulty rated. Legendary. Cultivation feedback breaks through Sage Realm bottleneck. Achievement. Heavenly Master title.
Since you are so confident, I will give you 7 days. If you can teach this child self-discipline, then I shall spare your world.
The so-called source of all laws is the origin of the world, ever-flowing, ceaseless, in an endless cycle.
Is this for real? He's actually teaching such a supreme being.
Unbelievable. This is simply unprecedented. He's setting a new standard. Listen up. No matter your position, virtue is the foundation of your being. Come. Try to feel this aura. This child has incredible comprehension. No one just taught him before. If he can succeed, then I, Shun, shall be the grand tutor of all realms.
You have indeed surprised me. But there's one thing you must know. The Imperial Sun's growth requires an immense amount of spiritual sense.
Are you saying?
His energy consumption is rapidly increasing. If you don't find a new energy supply, his target might just turn to you.
Si Chen, the grand celebration is over. It's time for the Imperial Sun's main meal. Bring forth this lecturer as an offering.
A humble sacrifice. The Imperial Sun's hunger transcends all. It is your destiny to become nourishment for his growth. It is your fate. Seize him.
Hold on. I, Shun, have heard that the Firmament Imperial clan governs the world with order. Yet, what I see today is a group of mediocrities who only know how to kill the goose that lays the golden eggs. You call me a sacrifice to fill the Imperial Sun's belly. However, the Imperial Sun has now been enlightened. He recognizes characters and has developed reason. If he eats his teacher, it would be an act of disrespecting his master and betraying his ancestors. An Imperial Sun burdened with such a reputation. How could he lead all realms in the future?
Imperial Sun is hungry. Wants to eat. Eat teacher. Disloyal.
If he doesn't eat, though hungry, his integrity remains. Moreover, since I can teach, I can also teach the Imperial Sun Bigu. If you forcibly offer me as a sacrifice, you would be cutting off the Imperial Sun's path to learning. This is a heinous crime.
Guard Captain, what Master Shin says makes sense. If the Imperial Sun bears a bad name because of this, Your Imperial Majesty, it might cost you your heads.
Then, in Master's opinion, what should be done?
Teach him moderation.
You teach him moderation? What if I want to eat it? I have lived for 800,000 years, and this is the first time I've seen a creature dare to speak reason in this nursery.
The Celestial Emperor's lifespan is as brilliant as the stars. Yet, Celestial Emperor, even if you can devour all realms, has your heart ever held even half a scroll of poetry or books?
What a barbaric wasteland. I don't need reason. I am reason.
Since your majesty has appeared, it means there is doubt in your heart. Look at this child again. See if he can forge a different path from yours. Today, I, Shun, will hold a midterm exam for the Imperial Sun. If the Imperial Sun can pass this exam, proving that reason has overcome instinct, will your majesty be willing to pardon the lower realms and bestow upon me the title of Grand Tutor?
Granted. If he can't write it, then I shall personally refine you into a pill.
Concentrate chi in your heart. Let the brush follow your will. Write that character.
This power, it's shaking the very foundation of my being.
What are those things? Quick, protect His Highness.
Xinyao, only ignorance can endure forever. Today, I shall completely revert this disciple to chaos and make you, Holy Master, bleed across the void.
Master, run. I can't discern the cultivation level of those monsters at all.
Rebellious traitors, how dare you speak of eternity? You fear the light, simply because you're used to wriggling in the mud. A gentleman is open and at ease. A petty person is constantly anxious. In this nursery, I shun am the rule. As long as I haven't dismissed class, no one touches my students.
No matter what ancient demonic scripture you hold, in the face of absolute chaos, all reason will turn to dust. Prepare to die, Xinyao.
Regarding the Immortal Realms Foundational, Plan for Popularizing Logical Education, version 3.0. Humph. My old friend, your twisted sense of humor hasn't changed a bit. However, since it's a legacy left by a fellow alumnus, I, Shun, shall test its power. Chapter 1, Fledgling Eagles Take Flight. Chapter 2, Stretching Exercises.
What kind of evil art is this? Why do I feel my intelligence being forcibly raised? Stop. Stop it now.
Since you chose ignorance, then perish in the flames of reason. This is my rule Xin Yao's rule.
System notification. Executed the former Holy Master's teachings. Annihilated the anti-logic pavilion elites. Obtained special item. Old friend's notebook.
Xin Yao, the power within this scroll is identical to yours. What exactly does this successor you speak of mean? Xin Yao, you have rendered meritorious service in protecting the Imperial Sun, and have enlightened his mind. Though I dislike reason, yet I shall generously reward my meritorious subject. From this day forward, I hereby appoint you as the Grand Tutor. Your rank shall equal that of the Vice Emperor, and you shall lead the Upper Realms Education Bureau.
Congratulations, Grand Tutor. From now on, every being in the Upper Realm shall address you as teacher.
Your Majesty, the position of Grand Tutor, I will gladly accept. But I have one condition. The Upper Realm is magnificent, but my Learn Fast lecture hall is still in the Lower Realm. The root of education lies in universal access, not in remaining exclusive. I request your Majesty to grant 100 spirit opening springs, along with star ink, and 10,000 order brushes. Let me bring them back to the Lower Realm, to reshape the realm.
You intend to enlighten all that livestock? Do you realize, if all beings become intelligent, the heavenly Tao's feast will vanish completely, and the Upper Realm will plunge into chaos?
If all beings awaken their minds, the willpower and sparks of wisdom they generate will be far more valuable than mere spiritual nourishment. Does your Majesty want a herd of fire-breathing cattle, or an army of intellect that can conquer the heavens for you?
Granted.
Master, those students who had gained enlightenment, after a black worm burrowed into their heads, have all regressed. They only bite each other now.
Warning. Viral intellect-reducing weapon detected. Ignorance goo.
Someone is trying to destroy my foundation. While I'm away.
Studying, headache. Being stupid, comfortable. Eat.
How dare you? I've only been gone a few days, and you dare to act so wildly. In this sacred classroom? All of you stand still. Linga, bring out the star ink. Wherever this tower stands, intellect-reducing powder cannot enter, and ignorance goo cannot breed. This is the Immortal Realm's first logic signal-based station.
System notification. Successfully suppressed the intellect-reducing plague. First spiritual sense tower established. Cultivation feedback. Officially entered the Supreme Exemplar Realm. Acquired skill. Global broadcast lecturing.
Xin Yao, do you think you're the only one who can build towers? The true intellect-reducing mother entity has already descended upon your hometown.
My old home. Could it be? As the sages say, only then can one truly know their destination. The old home mentioned by those remnants of the literacy group, it really is that place.
Master, I remember that place. There were only a few blockhead elders who just ate dirt. How could it become some mother body arrival point?
Holy Master, this old servant just used the big data divination method to deduce, and found that the spiritual chi flow in mischievous Child Ridge is extremely distorted. It's as if a massive black hole is frantically devouring the surrounding intelligence.
Then let's go take a look. Linga, notify Tai Long. Bring the order guard. Today, the Grand Tutor returns home. No gifts accepted, only homework checked.
Master, my great-uncle is in there too. How did he shrink to the size of a 3-year-old?
This isn't a physical shrinking. It's a collapse of thought. This place has been subjected to a dimensional reduction enlightenment technique, attempting to completely wipe out all wisdom within a 100-mile radius.
Good child. Sleep. Don't think. Thinking hurts.
The source of the intellect-reducing mother body is actually linked to the death of the previous transmigrator.
This is my mud. If you dare to snatch it, I'll use my great annihilation palm.
This is outrageous. Nascent soul stage old monsters, playing with mud? What kind of behavior is this?
Tai Long, grab those few nascent soul cultivators who are rolling around on the ground and bring them here.
Xin Yao, it's you. You're the one who corrupted the children. Why do you want them to become smart? Being smart only brings pain. It brings rebellion.
Nonsense. To strip away one's intellect, reducing them to livestock. This is raising silkworms, not nurturing people.
Side quest triggered. Break the twisted maternal love. Break the twisted maternal love. Requirement. Illuminate the intellect-reducing barrier with the light of reason. Reward. Unlock Sage's light. Amplified mode.
Fellow transmigrator, since this school emblem is here, then I, Shun, will. Then I shall borrow your unfulfilled aspirations from your past life. Stop her now. She's devouring the desire for knowledge from all beings in this world.
I want milk. I want to go home to mommy.
Tainyo. Wake up. Recite Chu Shi Biao.
Only the fire of awakening can dispel this. Students, heed my command. Follow your master and recite the great wind. As heaven is ever vigorous, a gentleman strives for self-improvement.
Self-improvement.
As earth is ever embracing, a gentleman carries all with broad virtue. This sword strike is for our fellow traveler you trapped to death.
Mr. Shin, now that this fiend is eliminated, where shall we go next?
This is just the beginning. Those guys in the upper realm use intellect-reducing methods as fences to herd all living beings. Grand Tutor, the Imperial Son has run away from home. He said he's going to seek the poetry and distant lands you spoke of. He's currently heading to the lower realm, to the abyss of despair. Run away from home. That giant baby who can devour planets ran away from home.
Master said, the outside world is vast. I want to see it. Poems, I want to see. I want to see the distant horizon.
The Imperial Son actually learned to run away from home. If he were to enter that forbidden sea, the ultimate balance of all realms would completely collapse. Oh, poems and the distant horizon. Indeed, Shun taught him to read the Ode to Returning Home, to cultivate his character. But he, on the other hand, just pulled off a skip-class stunt of cosmic proportions.
Master, should we go after him? That abyss of despair. It sounds dangerous just by its name.
Holy Master, you mustn't. The Abyss of Despair is the Immortal Realms Recycling Center. All cultivators who went mad from being too smart eventually vanished there.
As a teacher, if the teaching is not strict, it is the teacher's laziness. Since this child ran off, Xinyao will chase him to the ends of the void and still drag him back to redo his homework. Tai Long, you stay and guard the spiritual sense tower. Linga, High Priest, follow me into the abyss.
Has someone else come? I hope this one can teach me something. This road is mine. This tree is mine. No.
You are a half-sage. Yet you play such childish games here?
What is shame? Can it be eaten? Ahahaha. Everyone here is playing games. Those who don't play are caught and eaten by Big Mama.
When things fall apart, reason ceases to exist. In front of me, Xinyao, you dare to talk about staring contests? Do you know the optical structure of the eyeball? Your line of sight has a focal shift, severe astigmatism, and is accompanied by sporadic outbursts. To challenge me, Xinyao, with such inferior visuals, is truly an amateur's folly.
For the glory of the Imperial clan, even if it means destroying this abyss, I must bring the Imperial Sun back.
The cultivators here are fools. What about you, Professor Shin? You think you're teaching them knowledge, but you're actually feeding them slow poison.
How so?
In this world, intelligence equals suffering. You awaken them, and they'll realize they're nothing but fodder for the Imperial clan. You are the cruelest one of all.
To take the people's hearts as one's own. Your words are merely the excuses of a coward. Shatter.
Xinyao, I gave you a chance, yet you insist on teaching my grandson about freedom. Since you are so determined, then I shall completely erase this abyss.
Good boy. Put down the pacifier. Shall we leave this place together? path of reason. Your annihilation, though it can destroy matter, cannot extinguish the flame of knowledge-seeking in all beings.
This is a world-ending strike from the Celestial Emperor himself. Our mountain of books is unstoppable.
As Master said, a scholar with lofty ideals will not sacrifice benevolence for survival. They would rather sacrifice their lives to uphold benevolence.
Reason resides here, where reason points. No magic can invade.
Refraction. Light.
Ultimate defense requires the unity of all people. Teach your students. Street brawling. Brother Shen.
Friend, you're too late. The coffee here has been cold for hundreds of thousands of years.
May I ask your name, sir? Why have you fallen to this state? And allied with darkness?
My name is Liang Ping. In my previous life, I majored in logic and control theory. When I transmigrated, this Celestial Emperor was just a little cultivator who only knew how to play with mud. I taught him how to establish order, but not how to control greed. As a result, he imprisoned me here, becoming his wisdom filter for raising all beings. This world is not real. It's a spiritual chi factory. Those so-called cultivations are actually producing high-purity thought essence for the giant babies in the upper realm. The higher the cultivation level, the purer the thoughts, the more delicious it tastes. Brother Shen, what you're doing now is mixing sand into the boss's milk powder.
Sentient beings are not mere livestock. Civilization is not fun.
Ambitious. But the Celestial Emperor has already merged with the only heavenly Tao of this realm. This is the essence of my life's wisdom. It's also the backdoor program that can restart the heavenly Tao system. Brother Shen, catch it.
Liang Ping is dead. Who can stop me now? Xin Yao. You are but a pedantic scholar. How dare you teach the Imperial Sun to defy the heavens? Today, I shall make you understand what absolute hierarchical suppression means.
Before knowledge, all beings are equal. Your Majesty, your flame of annihilation. The grammar is wrong. The structure is messy. Watch closely, Your Majesty. This is prosperity, and the people suffer. This is decline, and the people suffer. You think you are the shepherd, but in reality, you are also just a pawn of this so-called, a lost old sheep, trapped by the heavenly Tao. Good child. Cry it out, and you'll grow up.
Xin Yao. Today, even if I sacrifice my 10,000 years of cultivation level, I will grind you to dust.
Your Majesty, since you love to make a scene so much, then let's just start over from scratch.
Xin Yao. This primordial chaos is the ultimate heavenly Tao I comprehended over 10 millennia. To die by this move is your honor.
Your Majesty, Shen has just observed the trajectory of your move. The beginning is chaotic. The end is weak and superficial. If Shen is not mistaken, your so-called primordial chaos is actually a forced compression of countless souls of cultivators, whose intellect you reduced. A gentleman is open and poised. Your Majesty, this move of yours, the academic term for it is patchwork. You dare not enlighten the masses, because you fear they will discover that your proud Tao is riddled with flaws. Break its form, decipher its meaning, restore it to its source.
That's impossible. I am the sole truth. No one can deconstruct my Tao.
Try laying a hand on him. Your Majesty, this child just learned to write the word teacher. He hasn't learned to write resist yet, but he learns quickly, because every tear he sheds is washing away the filth you left behind. Stripping all beings of their right to evolve, just to feed your own selfish desires. Today, I, Xinyao, will show you, without the intellect-reducing powder's boost, how much of your cultivation is truly left.
Is this the one you all chose? As your teacher? Looks like. Your lessons weren't very thorough.
High Priest, no. Why have you descended in person?
Because, old man, you're just too dumb. I gave you a pasture to manage. But you insisted on turning all the cattle and sheep into pigs. Now look at the mess. They've even awakened the pigs into wolves. You're about to be eaten.
And who exactly are you? The intellect-reducing powder in this immortal realm. It seems you're the real source.
You can call me Zero. I am the administrator of this star sector. Professor Shen, you are quite interesting. You've used the antivirus software left by Liang Ping as a weapon, and even corrupted this heavenly Tao seed.
All beings have the right to seek knowledge. I merely followed the will of heaven and man. Are you going to destroy me?
Neither. Since you feel teaching isn't satisfying enough, I'll grant you greater authority. From today onwards, this world will no longer be a pasture. I hereby appoint you as the grand principal of all heavens. As long as you can raise the intelligence level of this immortal realm to a passing grade, I will allow you all to ascend to the true upper realm. If you fail, I will reset everything here and start anew.
This task. So my fate is to be a busy bee my whole life. Fellow Taoists, from today, the immortal realm will abolish sectarian conflicts. It will be replaced by a credit system, no matter how high your cultivation level.
Anyone who fails 5 times will have their magic abolished and return to kindergarten. I'd rather be killed than recite the 3-character classic.
You cultivators have always pursued power, not reason. From today, the immortal realm will no longer judge status by spiritual power, but by the number of academic credits. Those with full credits will be granted immortal pills and comprehend the great Tao. Those who fail 5 times will have their spiritual chi revoked and be demoted to mischievous children.
Master, the sect master of the sword sect says he's old and gets dizzy reading. Can he apply for an exemption?
Dizzy. Go run laps in the back mountains until he can recite the first 5 chapters of the Tao Te Ching. Note it down. The sword sect master has a poor academic attitude. Deduct 0.5 credits. This is the literary and scientific firmament, covering all realms.
Shen Yao wants to tame all beings with etiquette and law. He forgot, the freest thing in this world is always ignorance. We must bring back the innocence of those fools.
I don't want to read. I want to eat dirt.
Exam question. Discuss the physical relationship between spiritual chi and air.
What kind of logic is this? Master says it's a rule, but my rule is that with one punch, everything shatters.
I don't want to take the exam.
He's not under too much pressure, but infected by the intellect-reducing plague in his sea of consciousness. Clear mind, order prevails. Break.
Master, I actually just tried to eat this pen like candy.
Shenyao, the deeper you teach them, the harder they fall back into ignorance. The greater the backlash will be. It's called an intellect rebound.
So this exam was a trap all along.
Professor Shen, your pass rate is plummeting. If it drops below 50%, I'll initiate the total wipeout protocol.
As the sages say, if you don't enter the tiger's den, how can you catch the cub? The laws of reality are barren here. You must constantly recite the song of everlasting sorrow to guard your spiritual mind.
Though heaven and earth may last forever, this sorrow will stretch on without end. Master, I can't help but feel someone's watching us from the woods.
He. Shenyao. You worship order. So I'll send you back to the primitive age. This blank sheet of paper can absorb all the truths in this world. Before it, you're just a primitive creature.
How did the sages put it again?
In calligraphy, blank paper is meant to carry artistic conception. You only know its form, didn't understand its meaning. The last trump card left by my fellow traveler was not enlightenment, but rather leaving blanks. You've been waiting here for a long time, just to show me, when civilization reaches its end, will even teachers turn into madmen?
Ah, Xinyao, you taught them to read, you taught them reason. But did you teach them how to face meaninglessness? I was once the first holy master of this realm. I too once tried, just like you, to turn these blockheads into sages. But what was the result? Ah. The more I taught, the more fiercely the heavenly Tao harvested. In the end, I had to destroy all the texts with my own hands and bury myself here to deceive that administrator. Xinyao, sleep with me. If everyone is foolish, no one will suffer.
Nonsense. If one shrinks back from pain, then all beings would become cowards. What you call protection is merely the suffocation of civilization.
You teach them what is good. Yet this world itself is a pasture of all evils. No matter how well you teach, you're only making their flesh more tender. You think light illuminates? It can also burn and cause pain. Ah.
Today I, Shun, shall teach you. What it means to do what you know is impossible. You say writing leads to harvesting. That's because you only know the form of words, not their spirit.
You actually dared to write that character. You will destroy the balance of all universes. You actually want to record the ugliness of this pasture? You're insane. You are sentencing the heavenly Tao. It's all wrong. It's all wrong.
Master, I feel like my mind is filled with so many memories that aren't mine. I saw our ancestors painting in caves. I also saw people preserving books amidst raging wars.
This is history. It doesn't teach you to fly or escape the earth. It teaches you who you are, where you come from, and why after you die, someone will remember you.
Professor Shen, you're cheating. You've introduced rules alien to this world. Now, everyone must retake the exam. Fail it, and you'll all be erased. This exam is titled The Truth of Self. Question 1. If your cultivation level is merely poison bestowed by others, what will you do?
Listen up, everyone. Don't look at the question. Look at me. Don't worry about what this poison is, as long as you hold reason in your hearts. This poison will be your axe to cleave mountains, your sword to pierce the void. Read with me. As heaven is ever vigorous, a gentleman strives for self-improvement.
As heaven is ever vigorous, a gentleman strives for self-improvement.
It's useless. This is only temporary. As long as you remain mere resources, you will never escape this logic. Professor Shen, you're so busy helping others. But you've forgotten that you are the biggest anomaly, whose logic doesn't fit in this world. Your failure rate is 100%. Professor Shen, a teacher without proper registration, is not permitted to teach. You can't even prove who you are. How can you speak of enlightening all beings?
No. Master. Please stay.
A name is but a guest of reality. Indeed, Shin is not on your narrow registry. But that does not mean Shin does not exist.
Facing death, and still wagging your tongue. Without my definition, you are nothing but void.
I say Xin Yao is one who imparts knowledge, teaches skills, and resolves doubts. I am not in the census, but in the hearts of people. I am not in the past, but in the future.
Host identity has transformed to Teacher of World Will.
But Shen Yao, do you think the path ahead will be easy? Xin Yao. Let's see how long you can cling to this dead logic.
Master, I don't recognize these words anymore. I feel like these words are all scolding me. They say my desire to become smart is an act against heaven.
This is ancient prejudice. And those students, they actually dug up these textual remnants that have been decaying for tens of thousands of years. They unearthed them.
Xin Yao, you've established a new doctrine, disrupting the ancient order. All beings should keep their place. The ignorant shall remain ignorant, and the wise forever wise. You're making these ants think, which is disrupting the hierarchy of all realms.
I shun only seek truth. You old relic, you're nothing but a thought shackle, fabricated by tyrants throughout history, for their convenience in ruling. And you dare speak of order? You dare speak of order? Linga, wake up.
Professor Shen, you can withstand physical attacks and logical assaults. But this cultural toxin, steeped for tens of thousands of years, how will you cleanse it? This is accumulated darkness.
Shenyao, good children, should be obedient. Let them become foolish. If they're foolish, they won't suffer. If they're foolish, we'll be as peaceful as puppets. I have a bowl here, of the soup of ignorance. Drink it, and you'll still be the holy master. Only your students will become obedient dogs.
I need to recite. Master, save me.
The flame of civilization is not born of tranquility, but forged in hardship. If you wish to shroud my light in darkness, then I, Shun, shall use this fervent passion to become an eternal, ever-burning lamp.
Today, I, Shin, embody the Tao with my very being. I invite you all to graduate.
Grand Tutorshin, this child needs feeding. What will you use to satisfy eternal hunger?
You've traveled a long way, esteemed guest. I presume it's not merely to visit my humble academy, but to inspect the quality of the food across this realm.
Grand Tutor Shin, you have broken the rules. This world was originally prepared as low-fat baby food for the Imperial Sun. Only ignorance and spiritual chi were required. You enlightened him, introducing impurities of wisdom. Such sustenance is unpalatable for the Imperial Sun. It will only breed rebellion.
Your theory, sir, is utterly crude in my opinion. Mere spiritual chi is but coarse fodder, but spiritual energy infused with wisdom and logic. That is the true essence of civilization. You only know how to fill the Imperial Sun's stomach, but not how to open his mind. If you feed him ignorance, the Imperial Sun will remain a giant baby his entire life. But if you feed him truth, he can become a true god controlling all realms. Words alone are not enough. You must present a true delicacy.
Since the Grand Tutor claims his teachings are effective, then please enter the hunger furnace. If your power can truly withstand this eternal void, I shall grant you a title. If not, then become the first flavorful seasoning in this feeding bottle.
Master, I feel my brain slowing down. I want to eat. I want to eat every word I see.
Me too. I want to eat this sword.
Gentlemen, hunger is not an empty stomach. It is the negligence of the gods. If reason resides in your heart, all things can be consumed. Today, I shun invite you all to a feast of truth. This is the resilience of civilization. The hungrier one is, the more fragrant the taste of truth.
Professor Shin, don't bother. The underlying logic of this feeding bottle is actually a paper you wrote.
Look, Master. This is your publication from that seminar on the cognitive construction of a low-age society. They saw this article and thought it was the perfect ranch management manual. The logic you taught me became the shackles they used to bind all beings.
Absurd. That was my shun's critical essay satirizing the chaos in education at the time. They actually took it out of context and turned it into the morality of this world.
Grand Tutor Shin, do you realize now that you are the instigator of all these calamities? No matter how well you teach, you are merely patching up the loopholes you left behind.
If that's the case, then I, Shun, shall personally rectify the errors of this world. I declare that all I write is for critique. All I establish is for awakening. Tell your disciples, the Master will no longer teach. From today onwards, we shall become self-taught.
That's a summons from the Universal Academic Arbitration Committee. Xin Yao, you've revealed the universe's trump card. They're coming to seal off our star field.
They even attempted to evade harvesting through self-study. Such academic cheating must be eradicated. Initiate the Starfield Sealing Protocol, starting with that illegally constructed academy.
Esteemed guests arrive with chains. Is this the Universal Committee's way of hospitality?
Xin Yao, your past karma, your actions that disturbed our order, and your present words that damaged our repository. The committee has ruled that the civilization system you established is an illegal insertion, severely disrupting the universe's evolutions. Singularity metric. We now seal your academy and sever your legacy. Do you accept this verdict?
Accept? As a holy master, Shun Yao, only bows to reason, not to verdicts. You claim I interfere with your metrics. Then I must ask, should the evolution of cosmic civilization be like stagnant water, following a fixed routine, or should it blossom like 100 flowers, each vying for supremacy?
Order above all else.
Nonsense. Order without vitality is stagnation. As arbitrators, you don't even know that. Truth becomes clearer through debate. Since you all believe I cheated, then in front of all the cultivators in the myriad realms, let's hold a public defense. If I lose, you may format the millions of beings in this immortal realm as you wish. But if I win, you must withdraw your sealing order and acknowledge the immortal realm's right to independent schooling.
In 3 days, the defense will begin. Shen Yao, don't say I didn't warn you. If you fail the defense, your soul will be extracted and made into a permanent logical specimen.
Linguer, Diyulon, this defense of ours isn't about cultivation. It's about muddying the waters. Take these 3 books, the complete guide to debating logical fallacies, and have all the students in the school cram them. By then, I'll let those old fogies know what the wild growth of private education truly means.
Inside the auditorium, the atmosphere was extremely tense. Thousands of old monsters, who once only knew how to breathe fire and smoke, were now frowning at the pamphlets in their hands. The pamphlets clearly listed things like equivocation, appeal to authority, generalization, such despicable tactics, unheard of in the immortal realm.
No, these are profound debate techniques.
Master, what does red herring fallacy mean? Are we supposed to roast fish in front of those 3 old men?
It's a diversion. When they question orthodoxy, you counter-question them about their meaningless old rules and conventions. The point isn't the answer. It's to get them lost in a labyrinth of logic.
Master, what if they use that kind of causality law that can shatter souls? To suppress us?
Good question. Therefore, what we'll use isn't logic, but reverse resonance. As long as we are absurd enough, their singular logic won't be able to pin us down. This is called multi-chaos defense.
Teacher, you're playing with fire. Those people on the committee represent the underlying structure of the universe. If we truly infuriate them,
Lin Foam, when you realize that this world itself is just a buggy, rotten program, the only way to fix it is to inject an even wilder bug.
Meanwhile, on the arbitration platform, 1 Yuan is proofreading a document titled Destruction Sequence.
Shen Yao thinks that using those mortal tricks can interfere with the trial. He has no idea. We've prepared the hammer of truth this time. If even a single word he says contradicts the fixed laws of the universe, the entire star domain will instantly collapse.
On the eve of the defense, Sulinger, at the bottom of the archive, once discovered an ancient scroll, emitting an ominous black aura. To defeat the gods, one must first abandon humanity.
The defense begins. First charge. Xinyao, you have secretly taught the method of independent thought, causing a decline in the immortal realm's spiritual chi conversion rate. Do you realize that spiritual chi is the blood of the cosmos? Your actions are tantamount to stealing public property.
I object. You say we stole the cosmos's blood? Let me ask you, do the pigs you raise, if learning to bathe oneself, is it to steal your water? Or to prevent you from getting food stuck in your teeth when you eat meat?
What does he mean by that?
What Tai Long means is, enlightened cultivators can actively sort out chaotic spiritual chi. Although the surface conversion rate decreases, the purity of the spiritual chi produced has increased 1,000-fold. Before, you were eating thin porridge. Now, we're supplying you with concentrated essence. It's one thing that your wages haven't increased. But you're accusing us of stealing water?
Sophistry. Your intellect is a chaotic poison. Now, accept the judgment of truth.
If the truth you speak of is to turn everyone into stones, then we shall become the fire that chisels those stones.
That's something I locked in a safe before I transmigrated. It's about an extreme hypothesis on how artificial intelligence, after developing self-awareness, would commit suicide to resist its programmers.
It's collapsing here.
I remember now. This isn't an immortal realm at all. This is the simulation sandbox I designed back then to deduce what kind of self-destructive tendencies a logical organism would develop after realizing it was a program, a simulation sandbox.
Xinyao, you dare to pry into the unspeakable. These myriad realms were once a perfect order, yet you injected the virus of doubt.
Your so-called order is built upon my medical records, academic plagiarism. You stole my simulation research and turned it into a farm for harvesting intellect. And now you even dare to judge me in the name of arbitration. Su Linger, Tai Long, do not be intimidated by this void, since this world is a hypothesis. From my pen, then I, Shun, have the right to write its final chapter. I declare, the beings here are not hypotheses, but true selves. All who think are immortal.
The committee has withdrawn all logical funding for this starfield. Now this place is nothing but a pile of meaningless, garbled ruins. Your enlightenment, your struggle, is worthless in the face of defunding.
Master, I feel like my name is fading. Am I about to disappear?
My dear students, this lesson today might be the last one your master teaches you. The topic is how to prove one's existence without external funding. When you think by withdrawing logical funding, we will cease to exist? Not so. The greatest logic of life is the will to survive itself. Everyone listen up. Recite loudly with me. I think, therefore I am.
I think.
Therefore I am.
I think.
Therefore I am.
Madness. You are actually using mortal emotions to replace the axioms of the universe. This is destroying the very foundation of existence.
Professor Shen. Your project has concluded. Now, it's time to hand over your experimental data and your life. Together. Xin Yao, your research is indeed astonishing. How could you make these nobodies rebel? However, according to the committee's plagiarism check, everything in your immortal realm overlaps with your failed report from your previous life. This is self-plagiarism. The project will not be approved. Only erasure.
Plagiarism check. Dean, you seem to have forgotten the most important thing in academia. Variables. In my previous research, those logical beings, upon discovering the truth, would only choose self-destruction. But here, Tai Long learned to solve those terrible word problems for his friends. Linger learned to defy the heavenly Tao she revered, for the sake of civilization. These clumsy, illogical behaviors are the 0.1% innovation that your cold plagiarism machines will never calculate. This research has been independently completed by the experimental subjects themselves. I recommend granting everyone a special award.
Data loaded. Commencing certification. Academic counterattack. Master of Truth. Breaking immortal limits. Certification complete.
Since you insist on arbitrating, then stay. Clean all the toilets in this immortal realm. Consider it a social practice class.
Master, what's that now? It looks even more lively than that black bottle from before.
Greetings, everyone. Don't be nervous. We are visitors from the Origin Star domain. We heard there's a prodigy here who can teach even pigs to recite poetry. Principal Shun, please have your students begin their performance. Will it be chest-breaking stone or a logic free-for-all? As long as you entertain our esteemed guests, rewards will surely follow.
You scoundrel. What do you take us for? We are students now. We are civilized people.
Sir, this is an academy, not a sideshow. Seekers of knowledge are not to be trifled with. Xinyao, don't take our patience for granted. The only reason your star system hasn't been wiped out is because our committee finds it somewhat entertaining. If you don't cooperate, I will activate the forced observation protocol. I'll turn all of you back into idiots who only play with mud for the amusement of our superiors. Ha ha ha. As the master says, a scholar may be killed, but not humiliated. You toy with civilizations, treating all beings as playthings. This is truly immoral. High Priest, take note. Today's first lesson: how to expel uninvited barbarians. This isn't just a tourist visit. This is a higher civilization's disregard for a lower civilization's sovereignty. Principal, the students have been moved to the underground lecture hall. Notify all instructors to activate the civilization spark. Emergency protocol.
Professor Shen, you can't escape my grasp. Your research report will ultimately only end up in my collection cabinet. Xin Yao, do you want to go home? As long as you personally extinguish this flame of civilization in the immortal realm, I will let you return to the mortal world.
Today is not a day of suffering, but a day of graduation. You all have studied diligently for years. What do you seek? Immortality, or that unyielding reason?
I seek reason. I don't want to be a pig. I want to be a human as Master taught.
I seek reason.
What I seek is reason, not immortality. What I seek is reason, not immortality.
Look at yourself now, struggling in this illusory world for a few dimwits. Come back. Just hand over your holy master's essence, and you will still be that revered professor.
Master, don't mind us. If you can survive by going back, Linger is willing to die for you.
Knowledge is for freedom, not for exchange. The Xin Yao of the past is dead. What lives today is this eternal spark of a teacher's soul.
Host has abandoned personal return, choosing the perpetuation of civilization. Pass rate reached 1000%. System is about to self-deconstruct, transforming into the public knowledge of all realms.
Ah. Help! Why are all these pigs awake? Get out of here.
Dad, don't go.
Lin Feng, do you think Master will ever come back?
It's been so many years. He has become the very principle of this world.
But old Tai still misses him calling me a blockhead.
Teacher never left. Every word you recite, every principle you speak, is him.
Teacher, today's problem, I've solved it.
The strokes are still too messy, but I'll grudgingly give you a passing grade. Class dismissed.